Hello and welcome everyone to episode 80 of One Piece at a Time, the One Piece read-through podcast where we read and discuss 5 chapters of the One Piece manga each and every week. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host and freelance letterer at Shonen Jump, Brandon Bovia. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm, of course, Brandon Bovia, the letterer of manga like Dragon Ball Super and Kaiju number 8 and many more. Back to talk about more One Piece, basically. Just we're back at it.
I mean, the world was calling out for a hero, and that hero has arrived.
Yes.
It had to happen, and God, I'm so happy it did.
Yeah, I genuinely forgot that was now.
Yeah, I couldn't remember exactly when it was, but I do remember it's honestly one of the most memorable bits of this whole arc.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just start to finish, and gosh, I'm looking forward to talking about that. But there's of course a few other things to talk about because we're in the let's go with preliminary fights with this set.
Yeah. We're we're at that part of your average shonen manga.
Yeah, I mean it's been a while since we had fights during the whole encounter with CP9, but those weren't really fights. Those were beatdowns.
Those were beatdowns. Yeah, but now it feels like we're properly working our way up.
Yes.
The food chain.
Yes, absolutely. So, and there's some fun twists to it too. So let's go ahead and dive into it with chapter 366, Sortie. And little break from Miss Golden Week's big plan because we see that the giant islands, the giants in the giant island are still just doing their thing.
Yeah. I get the feeling Oda really likes these characters.
Oh, he totally does.
Yeah.
And it's, it's pointedly that's all just punching each other now we're going boxing rather than
I was going to say that they've got like the cross counter thing, like the very common like boxing anime trope.
You got to do that. If you're going to do boxing, you got to have that happen.
Absolutely.
But now it's time to see what Rocket Man is capable of.
And they go straight into it. Just
yeah, like it is just like holy crap! Like what a action set piece where they exit the canal. It really does show that this is definitely a boat, more like half boat, half train from what we kind of think of, because it just blasts out. Then all of a sudden, here comes the Franky family with Sodom. I love how they hide this, Sodomu. Yeah. But no, Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah. You're not fooling anybody, guys. No. With their king bulls.
Yeah, I got our twin king bulls pulling the 50 members of the Franky family along. And Kokoro has this hitching gun that she sends out that the bulls hold on to, and bam, they're all just flying along like just this, like they got a car in front.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, that's awesome.
This whole sequence is pretty rad. Like it almost feels like something out of like a robot anime almost, of just like you're getting all of the sort of technical like combination sequences, and you see the Rocket Man aligning itself onto the tracks.
Yeah,
it's just like oh dude.
And Kokoro is just like, all right, where are they? Okay, there they are. Let's hang on, because if you hang on, your injuries will be minor, because once we hit those tracks, our speed will increase extremely rapidly. And that's when we find out that Chimney and Gonbei joined along. So we got this little girl on this train on the front. Like, my God.
You just, hey, we're gonna go bust into the government. Do you want to bring a child along? Sure, why not?
And it is pointed just at how fast Rocket Man is going, to the point that when it locks on, Luffy almost falls off because it rockets. Rockets out of there. And Luffy flies back. Everybody lurches. Oda does a great job of just conveying how much speed this thing is going at.
Selling the speed it's really quite incredible. And just like, I love the fact that we really just like got straight into it. I had to make sure that I was on the right chapter. I was like, wait, did we skip something? No. Oh, yeah. It is just like, hey, here's Rocket Man. Off he goes.
Yeah. So everybody recovers, gets inside the only car. And they're like, that was rough. I thought we were going to fly off. And Zora's like, wait a second, there's somebody strange here. And you actually see them in the previous panel. But the point out is like, they're like, huh? Who do you mean? And Paulie's like, he means you and then them and you. So it's like,
yes,
we got 3 members of Galila and company here. The 3 strongest, let's be honest. After the...
Tilestone and Lulu?
Yes,
right?
Tilestone and Lulu.
Okay. Yeah. I had forgotten their names until right now.
Yeah. And all 3 of them are basically like, okay, so the ones who took your crewmate are the same ones who tried to kill Iceberg. We got to get revenge for Iceberg. And that's sort of their whole idea. God, I love this visual joke, the expansion of the visual joke on Lulu, where it's not just his hair coming out of different spots on his head. It comes out his wrist when he pushes it down time.
I completely missed that. That's so funny.
That's good escalation of a joke.
Yeah. This is so subtle. Yeah, God, and it's at completely different spots in every panel he's in.
It's amazing. You know, Oda had fun with this character.
Yeah.
Basically, everybody's just coming together, being like, we gotta take these guys on because they took brother Franky away. We got to get a revenge for Iceberg, which is funny because those 2 were started out as friends, so there is that connection just from the beginning, thanks to Franky's flashback. The Tilestone and Lulu still don't know who the enemy is, so he's like, they're like, okay, we have a good idea, but just confirm it for us.
I completely forgot about this joke. This had me rolling.
Oh, me too. They're like, we won't be shocked. We have an idea, and you're like, okay, that makes sense. And he's like, okay, it's Lucci, Kaku, Khalifa, and Bluno from the bar. They are the ones that try to kill Iceberg. You flip the page, and then they're just the biggest shocked faces.
Shocked. Yep. And then I love, like, who did you think it was? This is Michael and Weichel from the back alleys. It's like, who is that?
Oh God. And then Luffy, with some solidarity here, is like, hey, all right, Franky family, shipwrights, we had problems with each other in town, but we've got the same enemy from this point on. But of all the people we're fighting, the strongest is definitely the pigeon guy, so I'll be the one fighting him. So we got to take back what they took from us. That's the goal here.
I like how even the pigeon looks really menacing in that panel.
Let's be honest, that's the true enemy.
Yeah.
We also get a little detail because Kokoro is here. Because Nami asks, like, should you be out of the engineer's cabin? And she's like, didn't I tell you? It's a runaway sea train. My job was just to get it onto the tracks. I can't steer anything if I tried.
Yep. There's literally no brakes on this train.
Yeah. It is going forward no matter what. Like, it's almost funny he went for the we learned things from later SPS where the name Rocket Man comes from, but you can almost go for a Crazy Train reference.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't, because I hear Rocket Man, I think what is it? It's I always mix up Billy Joel and the other guy. Whatever. You know, the other recording artist.
Yeah.
One of those brain farts I have. I'm getting older. Don't judge me. I don't feel as bad because you didn't pick up on it, so I'm like, okay, cool. I'm fine.
Oh yeah, I have no idea.
All right. But yes, we get this cool pose of the leaders of each faction coming together in a tri-pose. Like, all right, we all have comrades waiting for us. We're not letting any waves do us in. We're going to accomplish what we're here for. And here we go. And then we see the giant wave ahead of them.
Yep.
It's like, all right, ready the cannon. We're gonna take care of this.
They're gonna try to shoot through it.
And then we find out that somehow Nami was keeping the baby transponder snail down her shirt, which there was no lump. So how the heck?
What? Sure, why not?
Okay. And we move over to the Puffing Tom, where we meet Captain T-Bone of Car 5. And he notices that one of his underlings was bitten by a bug a while ago. He scratched it and started bleeding. He's like, no, that's unacceptable. We must staunch the blood immediately and use this. He tears off a piece of his cloak. It's like, that's when my subordinates shed blood, it's my own heart that is injured. And we see him. He looks like this skeletal
He looks
dude.
like a zombie.
I know. And everybody's like, I love this juxtaposition. It's like, let the world be peaceful and kind. And everybody's just like, his face is really scary.
Yeah. I feel like even his name, T-Bone, is kind of intimidating.
Yeah, and even his motto is 100 good deeds per day.
His hobby's saving people. He's laying it on a little thick. He's like, oh, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy. And you know what? I can almost see the reason he looks like this is just because he sacrificed so much. Like, he gave up his nose to somebody. He gave up his tooth to somebody.
Yep.
Some weird thing like that. But of course, he immediately gets upset by the fact that cars 6 and 7 have been wiped out. So they got to figure out what's going on. And we get to the top, and Sanji's in contact with Nami as Franky and Usopp try to hang on at the top of Puffing Tom. So we're in some wild weather here, that's for sure.
Yeah. I really love this group, by the way, as we'll see a little more of them. But Sanji, Franky, and Usopp have a great dynamic.
It's amazing how well it works, like just the three of them coming together like that. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next chapter because it's time for the big event. Chapter 367, Sniper King. And I guess we're going to have to adapt to that, I think, in this case, because it makes sense to say Sniper King. That's what Soga King is, and we were both raised on Soga King.
Yeah. I guess if you've already read the chapters, you already know. But like, in case anybody doesn't know, the pun is Sogeki means sniping, and it's a portmanteau of Sogeki and Kingu. So Soga Kingu. And so they just decided to translate the joke, which is, I think, fair. Yeah. I alternate personally.
Yeah. Because for whatever reason, Soga King rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, it does.
So. But anyway, we see what's next up for this Baroque group. As I love that Mr. Five is always the one that just get the worst of it,
hanging on.
But unfortunately for them, the ink is washing off in the rain, and that's not good for their ride.
This cover story is surprisingly fun so far.
I really am enjoying it. Like it's what a nice change of pace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just moves quick. You know,
but we got this giant Aqua Laguna wave to deal with. We got Tilestone trying to use his demi cannon. Doesn't do much.
I mean, I don't know what they were thinking would happen.
I don't know. It's like, are they trying to part the waves with their guns? Because that's basically what they're doing. Is they just keep firing their scrap cannons and firing everything they've got to try to break through this wave. Because the Rocket Man cannot do anything about it. And I love how Kokoro is just drinking herself into a stupor more. Just, do your best. I'm like, I can't do anything. They'll rise a little, but they're not going to do anything against Aqua Laguna.
I love that the Chopper is freaking out. I was like, we're going to die. And then Kokoro's just like, I told you to prepare yourself. Like, death has no effect on her.
No, not at all. I love how even Chimney's like, what, us too? Like, there's consequences for our actions?
Yep, we're all gonna die. And
that's when Luffy and Zoro come up top and it's like, hey, keep firing in the front and center. We're gonna take care of this. And I love how Luffy's like, what's 2 times 108? Oh, geez, 216 is a mouthful. Whatever. Because
they round up.
I thought they round up the 300.
It was like, sure.
Why not? But yeah, the two of them use the Gum Gum Bazooka or Gum Gum Cannon and the 300-pound cannon together and blast a hole through the wave enough for the Rocket Man to just sort of get through that little bit.
This scene never made sense to me. It doesn't. But it's cool, so whatever.
Yeah, it does not make sense, whatever. We're basically breaking through the waves so that it does not hit the train itself, I guess.
Yeah, I guess at the same time, like, Zoro with one arm, like, split open a chimney in two. So, like, yeah, whatever.
I mean, these guys are supposed to be ridiculous. We got the classic shocked faces of everybody. Like, nobody realized, like, that should not have happened.
Yeah. What are you?
Yeah, that is
I love that. Even
question.
If, one of the Franky family guys, it's just like, they're scary if you're making their enemies, but when they're their allies, there's nobody more reliable.
And they have that experience at this point. It's like, oh, God.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what we were up against?
Yep.
But yeah, not out of the storm yet, because it's time to break down everything that's going on. It's time to get everybody on the same page about what's happening. And this is kind of key because Luffy doesn't have the opportunity to go elsewhere. He actually hears what's going on with Robin. Doesn't know her backstory or anything like that, but knows what's going on. in general for everybody. And I love how Luffy's like, yeah, tear things up.
Yeah, just go.
Yeah.
I love, again, this coordination with the crew, and it's cool, seeing Luffy, of course, having absolute confidence in Sanji, just like, yeah, man, go for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's nasty people on that train, but it's okay because, hey, if it was the situation reversed and Zoro was on there, we wouldn't be able to stop you, so you get it.
Exactly, yeah. It's fun that, Zoro is, of course, the cautious one, but it's just like, yeah, if you were in that situation, you did the same thing.
Yeah, and I love this moment with Sanji. Like, even after hearing Robin's story, even if my captain ordered me to, I won't hold back.
Why did he break the phone, though?
That's a good question, but it's good emphasis. I like it.
Yeah.
And then Luffy's like, hey, can you make the train go faster? It's like,
go faster.
Yeah, it's like, no, we're going so fast, we cannot stop. Like, there is no stopping this train. More importantly, I guess, is Usopp gets caught up. This all happened while I was away, and Robin doesn't know anything about the going merry or the blow up with Luffy. She sacrificed herself. And Franky's all like, oh my gosh, that's such a great story.
He's crying.
Like, no, jerk, I'm not crying. And I love this. It's like, in Nico Robin, the world's estimation, she's a cruel, heartless demon woman. But what about this deep love for her comrades?
He's just rolling on top of the train.
So it's like, all right, I, Franky, will lend you a hand because, hey, I'll be in trouble if Nico Robin gets captured by the government too. So
which is, yeah, fair.
Let's go. And like, come on, Long Nose. And like, Usopp's like, no, it's got nothing to do with me anymore. If the government itself has finally become our enemy, I really don't want to be involved. And you'll be meeting up with Luffy and the others. So after all that, and I shame myself, I can't be with you again. So I don't have any obligation. It's like, dang it, Usopp, stop being so stubborn again.
Yeah.
It's like, God, we're still stuck with that. But in the meantime, T-Bone is checking on the men in car 7. And we get sort of a preview of what's ahead. We get Mr. Wanze in car 4, the kitchen, and Mr. Nero in car 3, as everybody gets informed about the intruders. All of a sudden, one of the Navy men spot them on top of the roof when a metallic star hits him. And, well, let's be honest. This guy just got knocked off the train into the water. He's dead.
He's dead. Yeah.
Like, this mysterious figure totally just killed a man. It's like, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, somebody we've never met before asking, you want to save that young lady, do you? Well, I have no particular reason to lend you a hand, but I shall fight alongside you. My name is Sniper King. Who could it be?
The mysterious... I mean, isn't that always, like... A hero always shows up, when the heroes are at their lowest.
Yes,
it's glad that we've got our One Piece has our own masked crusader coming in to save the day.
Thank goodness. I mean, I just can't tell who it is. It's a complete mystery.
It is one of the many mysteries of the world of One Piece.
I love that mask though.
Yeah, it's a great mask.
Like, it's both silly, but it works. Like, it is strangely badass.
Yeah, it plays into the whole, like, disguises that, with, like, the CP9 guys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sort of, like, the culture around, like, the masks and stuff and water.
Amazingly,
so, like,
it was set up.
Yeah. Amazingly.
All right, let's see what more we can learn about this Sniper King with chapter 368, Sea Train Battle Game, where, that dinosaur was not happy about being used as a lift, and they get dropped off at a vacation island, which, that place looks cool.
Yeah, they could have gotten dropped in the middle of the ocean, so I think that's a win.
Yeah, that kind of worked out for him, so good for them. We got a theme. He sings his own theme song, Sniper King. I was born on Sniper Island, and I hit my target 100% of the time. La-di-da, la-di-di. I can strike a rat's eye, and I can target your heart as well. I'm a man from Sniper Island. La-di-da, la-di-day. Go on, run away. I'm Sniper King. What a...
And I think the best part is just like Sanji and Franky just completely no sell it. They're just like, anyway.
Yeah, it's like, all right, come along, whatever. Don't you? It's like, don't you have any questions since we've never met? Like, where Sniper Island is? It's like, all right, we got to do this, and this. The answer is in your heart.
Yep. Just again, completely no selling it. It's so good.
Yeah. And as you've mentioned, as we talked about, like got my poor rendition of this song, but the anime goes whole hog.
Yeah, they go whole hog with it. It's great. It's like an off-key 70s Kamen Rider theme song. It's perfect.
I believe Sunbuying the actor as well. And
yeah.
I am looking forward to hearing the English version, which will likely be at the end of this section.
Yeah. The English version's also very good.
Sunny Straight. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, the intentional off-keyness of it is just chef's kiss.
I can't do that. I won't be able to do the whole thing. I'll definitely get claimed for that, but I'll try to get as much as I can in there.
Although, I mean, I think that's very curious. I mean, that he shares a voice actor with Usopp in the anime, but I have no idea who this character is.
Yeah, I know. It's so odd. I love how Sanji's like, hey, are you strong? He's like, super strong, you idiot. I'm particularly strong this week. All right. Well, we're up against a lot of enemies. If we jump the gun and it gets surrounded in a narrow car, there'll be troubles. So we got to avoid needless battles and focus on methodically crushing their places. But I have a plan. Got him in line again. And we go back to the Rocket Man, and Nami has changed clothes. I believe that's still the same skirt, but the top is now different.
I like that the jean jacket look is good for her.
Yeah. Honestly, this
one
is
of my
one of her
favorite Nami outfits.
I think this is one of her most iconic looks.
Yeah, actually, same in general for Luffy and Zoro too. Like, I think this is some of their best.
Yeah, agreed. It's a good look all around. I mean, I might have a affinity for this outfit because when I went to Japan in 2008 as a reward for finishing college. It was the first of my family to do so, and One Piece Unlimited Adventure had just come out.
Oh yeah,
and she wears this outfit in that game, and I got a figurine of her in this outfit.
Oh my goodness! Wow,
it's just a tiny little thing, but it was like I got to get it.
Oh man, that's a throwback. That's the only One Piece game. This is a complete aside. I think it's the only One Piece game that uses the Funimation cast.
That's because it's the first time that it was right when Funimation had gotten the license.
Yeah, and then they didn't dub any of the other One Piece games since to this day.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
they've never bothered with that. I guess it's just not worth the money.
I'm pretty sure it's the only game with the funny cast. And I think even the 4Kids cast got like a good 2 or 3, I want to say, games.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes sense. But the best part about this is that everybody's like freaking out. It's like, what are you guys doing? It's like they're all Tilestone, the Franky family leader, and Lulu are all just like nosebleeds and all that. And Paulie's yelling like, "Why did you change in front of us, you shameless woman? We're okay with shameless." Well, where else am I supposed to change? Like, there's only one train car. And then he's like yelling at the Square Sisters, like, cover your stomach and your legs. You're corrupting our society. Shut up, Bashful.
Yeah, I love that they call him Bashful. It's adorable.
Yeah. Oh God, it's so funny. Just especially because I've seen this scene in the anime, and once again they step up where they just have this flowery footage as she puts on her skirt and see her back as she puts on the front part, not the jean jacket, but the other part of it, and there's shocked looks from all the men.
Yeah,
Tilestones in particular just cracks me up because it's like, it's like he's freaking out, and then we get the whole classic exchange. But even better that to top it off is Kokuro's like, maybe I should change too. Please don't.
No. Yeah, definitely. The anime can be hit or miss when they expand on the jokes, but that one's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, Luffy's trying to stuff his pants with more meat. He wants bigger pockets. And Zoro notices that Nami has changed her weapon, the perfected climate baton. And
okay, upgrade.
Yeah, Usopp actually worked to make the dial to make it even stronger. And they're all like, it's his final work, and they're all gloomy.
Yeah, yeah. Which I guess they don't know where Usopp went, so I guess like as far as they know, if he wasn't able to evacuate Aqua Laguna, like, oh, he's dead.
Yeah, they don't know where he's at. Actually, no, they should know because they should know that they've known that Usopp's on the train.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Plus they just talked to him, so yeah. But it's like his final work is part of the crew.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of the perfected climate baton because I remember really enjoying that weapon.
Yeah.
But yeah, CP9's getting an update. The fact that they got an intruder. Well, if there's an intruder, Lucci's just like, well, if there's an intruder, they've been here since we left the station, which is rather appalling. But at the same time, they can't get off the train, so they're still on it. So calm down, search for them, whatever.
Yep.
The pigeon crossing its wings.
Yeah. I do appreciate that, like, at this point, CP9's just like, we did our job. Like, hey, we did it. And now there's all of just like this incompetency happening around them.
Yeah. They don't care.
Which I feel like
they're done.
Yeah. I feel like it's a good way to, like, it doesn't really undermine their accomplishments.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's just it's the supreme confidence. They know they did their job. They don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah,
they're still causing trouble. If the other people can't bring them down, where are they going to go? They're going to be either on the train or at Enos lobby. They can take care of them. Meanwhile, T-Bone and his men have made it to the last train car and looking around, and all of a sudden the back door opens and they're like, hey, how's it going? And then the Marines are immediately trying to go after them as Sniper King is furiously trying to seal the door so they can't get through.
I love that even Franky's side comments like, man, you suck with a hammer.
So the train's going nuts. They're trying to get through the door, and T-Bone finally draws his sword, cuts through the door and really the entire wall, looks out.
I like the pun in his attack name, Bonesoir.
It's so good. And they're not there. They're completely gone. And they look back and they're on the roof. And they're like, oh no, oh crap, it's a trap. Retreat. And they try to retreat to the doors, but no, it's already too late. They cut the last two cars away.
Honestly, a brilliant plan from Sanji. Like,
yes,
and the fact that it kind of worked without a hitch.
Yeah, I mean, the amazing thing is that what a clever way of clearing out the rabble rather than another fight of just them beating up everybody. It's a difference between him and Zoro. Zoro would beat up all those guys. Sanji's like, nah, we'll just get rid of them.
And I think it's with just the difference in numbers, it's probably the smarter play here. Although I do kind of like Sniper King here points out like, hey, like Luffy and the others are on the same track, so like they're gonna hit them eventually. And Sanji's like, we'll manage something.
They'll be fine.
Yep.
And then we got another person like, all right, I'll demolish him like I demolished this door, and they just open it up and he flies out.
Hey, all right,
another man dead. There's some unknown body counts going on during all this.
Sanji says, we cut their numbers down by about 50. So it's like, oh, there's 51.
Yeah, that was easy. And now it's time to work through them. And we got Sniper King, the exploding star, the free sortie, and the strong right from Franky, which reveals to them that, hey, he's a cyborg.
Oh, right. God, I feel like there is so much information going around, and like different characters know different amounts of stuff that you do kind of take for granted. You're like, oh yeah, they didn't know that, did they?
No, not at all. And he explains like, hey, I've got weapons and steel built in my body. If I get shot, it hurts a little, and sometimes I bleed, but it's not like anything has an effect on me. And it's just like, wow, it is a wide world out there. And meanwhile, Sniper King uses a little pin to hit on Franky's back. He's like, ow, what do you think you're doing? He's like, it's just a needle. You felt that? It's like, yes, my back is different. I made all the modifications myself. I couldn't reach my back. My front is a cyborg.
Which makes, he did get hit by a train.
And holy crap, that makes a stupid amount of sense that his back is his weakness because he couldn't reach.
Yeah. Again, you just don't think too hard about the fact that he repaired himself just from the front, but
and put a refrigerator in his stomach.
Of course, it's perfect for the hot days.
Oh yeah. But we finally make it to Car 4 where this CP7 cooking fighter is waiting, and we finally meet the mad Wanze. Oh dear God. My first thought was, it's the Mad Hatter, basically. Yeah.
His introduction immediately, he's just like, I'll make you some ramen. So, but first there's some trivia. Apparently he has like fishnet nose hair. So he eats flour and kneads it, and then just has the noodles come out of his nose. And he's like, all right, eat up.
That is the weirdest, grossest thing I've ever seen.
It's memorable though.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah,
It is a
freaking weird,
insane design, and
yeah,
just weird setup. It's like, what the hell?
which I think
It doesn't help that the eyes are also weird.
Yeah, God, and he's just such a weird character. But I think, like, if you're gonna make like fodder character, getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but he's a fodder character. But you might as well go all out with the gimmick and make him weird.
Yeah, make him fun.
Yeah, I'm constantly in awe of how just like weird some of these are. Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's time to hit chapter 369, Ramen Kung Fu. Another 2-page spread this time around, different outfits. I sure am going to miss Usopp. I mean, Sniper King has even replaced everybody on the...
yeah, he's even replaced Usopp in the crew. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Usopp. He's just gone.
Yeah, that makes me sad.
I know.
Robin with a sword is a good look, though.
Oh, yeah. That's a great look.
I appreciate that.
Like, I think Oda definitely has fun with Nami's outfits, but I think he goes like for that coolness factor. Like, he goes sexy with Nami, cool with Robin.
Definitely like very fashion model esque.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. And even get English in all this, unless the localizers did that. I'm not sure.
I didn't know if you were going to point this out or not. I can actually tell it's Oda's handwriting, except for Sniper King and Zoro, who of course they have to change to Zolo.
Oh, of course, that makes sense.
Yeah, so those are because I recognize the font because they use it in sound effects sometimes. But yeah, all the other characters are Oda's handwriting, but
okay,
they couldn't quite get it to match.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean they had to put Soga King in there and then the Zoro. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So.
Oh, goodness.
That's what you get for having a letterer on this podcast.
That's what we need you for. That's the whole point.
I can see.
But Khalifa's reporting, finding out stuff. And I like she's in still kind of feels secretary mode. It's like, what are you people doing back there? It's basically just a way to get people on board of what's going on, and even a breakdown of the train where we got Wanze on car 4, CP9's Nero on car 3, car 2 is where Lucci and all of them are at, and then Robin's in car 1.
That's interesting that she's in the front all by herself.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's that sort of layer of protection type of stuff, and she has nowhere to go.
That, and I guess they're also in the middle of the ocean during a storm, so you would think there's nobody getting in here.
Mm-hmm. Lucci's just breaking it down. It's like, okay, the enemy's not a moron, but if anything about the situation is an inconvenience to us, it's the fact that Franky's loose. So we just got to deliver him and Nico Robin. So whatever. It doesn't interfere with the mission. And that's all we care about. So we'll just recapture Franky if you guys can't. So whatever. And the other guy reports is like, there's a blonde guy I've never seen before wearing a suit. And then this guy in a weird mask. And he's like, oh, he's probably a member of the Strawhats, the blonde guy. So they're probably trying to get Nico Robin and Franky's helping them. So I like the Kaku is sort of like, they're on board. Like, they're not stupid. None of them are stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what makes them more of a threat. It's not like with Skypeo stuff where the follow-up people felt kind of dumb. And when they feel dumb, they're not as threatening.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. And God, we get this evil look from Lucci where it's just like, no matter how hard they try to retake her, they'll never be able to get Nico, be able to get Robin. So
I'm a little sad that the speech bubble covers the pigeon's face because he's probably making an evil face too.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. I'd love to see the pigeon's face. I'd love the pigeon is great.
Yeah. Although also great. This particular scene with Wanze I thought was hilarious just because they're all trying to not fall for the bit, but they all fall for the bit one by one.
Yeah. It makes them upset one by one. And I like that definitely based on the Mad Hatter because he has mad written on him on the back of his coat. God, that face he makes where he's imitating Sniper King going wrong.
Yeah, this is Robin Kung Fu. That face just destroyed me. It cracks me up.
Oh God, I love that. That bullet skimmed right by him, but his expression hasn't changed. How can he be so calm? I thought my heart was going to jump right out. It's like, you were startled? Your face is so confusing. And then the same thing happens to Sanji, as you said. Oh, it's so good. It's like, and Sanji's basically like, all right, whatever. Just leave this guy to me. You guys get to the next car. And oh god, he uses his alloy flower and just shoots out a ramen beam. And it's like sharp ramen that kind of destroys the door.
Yeah, and that's like, I feel like that is, we're kind of at that point in the One Piece fight formula where you have the guy whose gimmick is really dumb, and then you're just like, oh wait, he's actually a threat.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is weird, but it's kind of effective.
But at least, you know, they do the whole thing, you know, like Franky and Sniper King are able to escape it, you know, and it's like, it's you and me, you know.
Yeah.
One versus one.
And they're going above the cars once again because they can't make it through this guy, just to be quicker. And he's even, Wanze warns us that Nero is waiting for them. He's a newbie of CP9, but just an honorable killer. And he just loves killing. So, okay. But then we get into the fight, and we got Ramen Kung Fu Noodle Slicer Fire Skate Blades. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's just weird. And then like the sort of like the fight pauses for a beat, and then you flip the page, and then you just you see Wanze cough up blood. You're just like, what happened?
Like, did he hurt himself? What the heck? And then they get the word. It's like, at the same time you deflected my blow, you kicked me about 10 times, 12 times. Don't tell me that. Are you actually really strong? The interactions between him and Sanji are just wonderful, especially because he keeps talking about how he gets mesmerized by Sanji's curly eyebrows.
Yeah, he's just not having it. He's pissed.
And then we get to see his ultimate kung fu, the edible combat for uniform, the raw men's formal suit.
Raw men's. That's a god. That's a great pun.
And it's so ridiculous, just covered in this ramen.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. So that's where we leave off with his fight, where Sanji's is facing down this raw man.
Raw man.
And meanwhile, we got Franky in his wonderful pose. It's like, all right, what are you? Well, I am the Sea Weasel Nero. What's interesting here is that he's only mastered 4 powers, not the 6.
Yeah.
I like that little detail.
Yeah. I guess I'm surprised they let him into CP9 if he's only mastered 4.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess there's that much potential.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, he looks like one of the Kuro pilots. Yeah, he has the cool design. He looks like a better version of one of the Kuro pirates, like one of the.
I was thinking he looks like the Kuro pirates plus like a little bit of Mihawk.
Yes, yeah. There's that,
and maybe it's just the hat.
I think it's the hat that does it. Maybe a little bit of the face, but obviously more weaselish.
I completely forgot about Nero as a character, though. I'm surprised how cool he is, or at least how cool his design is. For just like, I did not remember you at all.
No. I love how the emphasis was on Nero is an honorable killer. And Franky takes advantage of that because, like, oh yeah, I guess it's important to keep your guard up. More importantly, what's that behind you? And then just clocks him in the face. It's like, that was dirty. It's like, I'm the boss of the bad guys, so whatever.
Oh man, Franky's so cool.
Franky is awesome.
He's I love this dude.
he's turned out to be so much fun. Like, when you think about how we got introduced to him, and now we're at this point, like, what a arc, you know?
yeah, seriously. Yeah, I feel like, friends become enemies, enemies become friends.
Yeah, and then just this insanity that he brings along with him. But hey, Sniper King's not there. What's he up to? Well, it turns out that he was able to skip ahead through all the cards along the side and actually gets to talk to Robin. And that's where we leave off.
Sniper King jump scare.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, she, erroneously calls him Mr. Longnose, which I think for a beloved crew member that she'd be able to tell the difference.
I know, right?
Usopp and Sniper King.
It's very unfortunate. I mean, granted, Sniper King does have a long nose as well, so maybe it's just a common, like, maybe there's multiple Mr. Long Noses.
Uh-huh.
So, oh well. Hopefully she'll fix her mistakes soon. But we do have an SBS real quick, and God, I love this first one. Well, the second one, technically. What would happen if you got goosed with the finger pistol? So
you die.
Yeah, it's just you die. And the great thing about that, if you're not wondering what goosed is, it's the common practical joke that for some reason Japanese kids loves to do to each other. And you're probably most familiar with it at the beginning of Naruto, where it happens to Naruto, where he's like he messes up and gets 2 fingers right up the bum.
Yeah. See, I did not know that the English phrase for that was called getting goosed.
I did not either.
Yeah, I know that the Japanese term, they call it kancho, but yeah, I did not know that there was an English equivalent for that.
I think in Naruto they call it just 1,000 years of pain.
Yeah.
But I do love that, like, yeah, you just die.
You would die. Yeah, of course.
Then we got more Nami trivia. Does Nami wear a strapless brawl, or is she just not wear one at all? Oda's just like, I'm rooting for no brawl at all, personally. Which the anime goes with that, because when they have her in the change machine, there's no brawl there. So yeah,
it's canon.
It's canon. That can't be comfortable.
Jesus.
But then we got Paulie's ropes, where he does try to base the kind of knot that he uses for the attack on actual knots. So that's neat.
Yeah. I thought Paulie's ability was a devil fruit, but I'm not sure. And
I don't think it's a devil fruit. He's not a devil fruit user, because I think we saw him didn't he get tossed in the water early on? He's just really good with knots. Yeah,
that might be it. Yeah, God, for some reason this whole time, and I was holding back, because I was like, I thought they revealed that at some point, that it was a devil fruit. But no, I guess not.
Yeah, I don't believe it's a devil fruit. It's sort of like Miss Golden Week. You think she's
it just works.
User, but no, they're really good at that thing.
Yeah, same way in that Wanze was just born with like fishnets in his nose.
Yes,
it just works.
Got to go with it. Anyway, last chapter for this set, 370. You're not alone. As turns out the Navy's on vacation island, which
of course
Miss Golden Week doesn't care. She's getting some ice cream.
Yeah, well, it looks like she's getting ice cream for everybody.
Yeah, it's the most excited she's looked in a while.
Yeah, that's adorable.
Yeah, good for her. I'm excited to see where that goes. It's that right level of ridiculousness.
Yeah, this is a great cover story.
Mm-hmm. So we get this conversation between Robin and Sniper King. And she's like, how did you get on board? It's like, I'm Sniper King. I've come to save you. He's like, hey, it's not just me trying to save you. Sanji and this thug named Franky are tearing it up inside the train. So I took the opportunity to come here. Plus, Luffy and the others are on another sea train pursuing us on the same track. So they're bringing a lot of allies. And that 4-person team behind us looks really dangerous. But if I can get you out of here before Sanji and Franky can run into them, I think that'd be best. So, hey, let's run away with this using these octo shoes that I have. Which, man, even has the same ideas as Usopp. That's clever.
Yeah.
Like, they're just on the same page.
He's a superhero. He's got a utility belt,
Yeah. Who knew that Usopp was so close to a superhero?
Yeah.
Robin is not happy about this. It's like, I told you all very clearly that I was leaving. I will never return to the Straw Hats. And Sniper King's just like, yeah, they know why you keep insisting that too. They heard it from Iceberg. She's like, oh, he's all right. And it's like, no, it doesn't matter. I will not return. And Sniper King's like, hey, don't you get it? The Straw Hats aren't so weak that they need you to worry about them. They just really appreciate it if you fill them in on this sort of thing. Do you think they'd be grateful to be alive, knowing one of their crewmates sacrificed themselves for them? No, now that they know why you left the crew, they'll follow you to the depths of hell and knock the stuffing out of any enemy along the way. That's the way Luffy works. And she's like, no, I don't want to be saved.
Yeah. I really like how illuminating this conversation is for both of them. Well, one, that the Sniper King is apparently very intimately familiar with the feelings of the Straw Hat crew, but that also Robin is just, from her perspective, it's just like, I don't want to be saved.
Yeah. Like, I did this to save you. Don't try to save me. I am willing to accept this fate. It's an interesting dichotomy for sure. But then we get this amazing bit.
I love this part.
I forget his name, but what's his name comes in. And it's just
wait. Corgi?
Corgi, that's it.
Yeah, okay. I forgot his name while I was reading this too.
It's like, you must be lamenting your fate, but nothing will save your life now. And then he's like, she looks different somehow. This is Robin covered up with Sniper King hidden behind her in her cloak, waving around, and then for whatever reason just makes like a M from YMCA.
Yeah, I was thinking of just posing. Yeah, and The expression on Corgi here is great. He's just like, is this just my imagination? He's just like,
why is she goofing around?
What the hell is happening right now?
I don't get it.
Yeah.
But back to the fight with Sanji and Wanze, as he's trying to use the pork bone spank, which is okay. Mm-hmm. And Sanji is not intimidated, goes to kick it, but instead gets caught up in the ramen. And it's very, very sticky, or very, very easy to get wrapped up in it.
And I like that Wanze is kind of like mid-speech of just kind of like, that's what you deserve for beating me black and blue back there. And then like he just looks into Sanji's eyebrow and just gets zonked.
The funny thing is that his own eyes are just the freakiest thing.
Right. It's just,
like you get that close up, it's just like, ugh.
Yeah. I don't get it at all.
But he hates those eyebrows so much that he says, I'll never forget you. Forgive you, excuse me.
Yeah.
And yeah, Sanji's definitely getting the tar kicked out of him now. But I kind of love all these puns. It's like, feeling like a wet noodle because you underestimated my power.
It's great.
And Sanji's free is like, all right, well, if I attack you, I get buried in ramen. So can't really get hit. And I gotta aim for the face. But as soon as he aims for the face, the ramen bean comes out again. He still has ammunition left, so he gets cut up by the ramen and gets forced back. He's like, I got no blind spots. This is the weirdest freaking enemy.
It really is. And just like, I mean, I like, Sanji's kind of taking stock of the whole situation. He is trying to strategize against such a bizarre opponent.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, oh yeah, his head's open. Just beat him in the head. That's what I thought. And then the beam came out. I was like, oh yeah, that's a problem. But Wanze's all happy with himself. He's like, you fight only kicks, so you can't really counter this. So here, have the multi-noodle spank. And all of a sudden, Sanji looking badass with twin knives.
Yeah. Oh, taking a page out of Zoro's book with that two-sword style.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, all the noodles fall into a plate. He's like, you're 1.4.
Great shot.
It's just so perfect. It's like, what? Acrobatics? My fist is falling to pieces? So in battle, I don't use my hands or cooking knives, both of which are sacred to cooks. But since this is a kitchen and I'm up against your ingredients, things are different. So
and it's so cool to see Sanji with knives.
Yeah, what a good twist on this fight.
Yeah,
rather than the typical like karate fight that he gets, it's like, no, let's use his kitchen abilities actually in this and just have fun with it.
I think I said this last week, but it really feels like Oda is banking up on all of Sanji's coolness and is just like letting it all loose here.
It does feel like
he's just getting all of the coolest stuff.
But yeah, Nero definitely has all those abilities. He's using shave to get up close. He has those paper arts to dodge. Get that freaky look of Franky taking off his hand, the skin of his hand like a glove. Yeah. To reveal his strong hammer, which I don't know why he needs to take off his skin for that, but okay.
Yeah.
But it's a little freaky.
It is a little bit freaky.
And then Nero has the Tempest kick, and fortunately Franky is able to take that hit from the beginning, and he's able to like use his fire. And Nero jumps off the ocean, but unfortunately his last thing he has is the moonwalk. And he's like, why doesn't the Tempest kick work? It should be cut in half.
By process of elimination, then that means that he can't use finger pistol or iron body?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So he's good at dodging, but he can't take a hit. So
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I like that panel once Nero comes back onto the sea train. Like he and Franky are both just hitting each other. Like, what are you?
Yeah. Like they can't figure out each other's whole thing. It's like, all right, whatever. We're just going to beat the snot at each other. But what the heck are you?
Yeah.
And then we get confirmation that the Puffing Tom will arrive at Enos Lobby in 20 minutes.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Getting there. I really forgot how cool, like, this sort of, like, the end of... Because we're approaching the end of Water 7.
Yes.
We're getting closer to India's Lobby. And it just... This sort of transition part, I think, is a lot better than I give it credit for.
Yeah, it's entertaining the entire way through. I don't know how the anime treats it, because by this point I was reading the manga. It's so well paced, it's just fun. We're into the fun stuff. There's still that tension of them trying to catch up and all that. But
Yeah.
we got the weirdness back, the silliness back, ridiculous feats.
We got the perfect balance.
It's
silly
right back in
and
that
there's
classic
still a lot of
One
cool
Piece
stuff.
sort of thing of
Yeah.
just like, here's the adventure
Absolutely.
aspect.
Yep.
Which after how many chapters of just like things going badly for them, it's nice to see. There is an SBS. Just one last thing to to go over is that the Puffing Tom is based off is inspired by the Puffing Billy, the oldest engine in the world, and Rocket was the name of an engine that was famous for its speed. So he took that. And he also found out when he was researching how to draw engines that the name of the guy who designed the world's first steam engine was Thomas. And I like as soon as he said that, I had the same thought as he did. It's like, oh, I see. That's where that famous kids program came from.
Aha! There you go.
I had no idea. I learned something.
Learn something new every day.
Just another wonderful set. It's fights. It's transition. Obviously, as we get through this, everybody's sort of trying to get together.
Next week is that our official end of Water 7?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
I took a look ahead. By next week, the Water 7 arc will be done, and we'll be into the Enos Lobby arc. It's all one big arc, of course. It's all together.
It's all one.
But a lot of them are denoted by different islands, and because we reach a different island, it's the Enos Lobby arc.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like there are other One Piece arcs where I feel this. Okay, mini rant time, and I think we might have discussed this on the show before, but like people get really up in arms, or maybe not up in arms is not the right word, but like they get really technical on what they count as like an arc versus a saga, because Dragon Ball fans are dumb and annoying. I'm being facetious, but I really do. I really find myself frustrated by that because it's entirely made up. It's all made up. Like, who cares? There's no difference. There are people like, oh, there are multiple arcs that can take place in a saga. Like, that's not like you are a bunch of like wiki nerds fighting against each other. It doesn't matter. And this was kind of a big problem because after like we just finished an arc about a year ago in the manga. And then they were like, okay, we are entering what I forget the exact phrasing that the announcement used, but they're basically like, the story is entering its final stages. And then so people were like, okay, does that mean that this is the last saga or this is the last arc? And it was just like, this is just like apples and oranges is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
it does not matter. You figure it out afterwards. Just enjoy the ride.
Really, the point is that One Piece is going to end soon-ish is really all that means.
Soon-ish, which might actually end up being another like 5 years.
It totally could be.
Because I think that's how Bleach went when I heard it was like, it's ending soon. So my thought was, it'll probably be a year or so. No.
Although, as a personal little tease, the manga has been moving at like, it feels like it's the final arc.
Oh, okay.
It does feel like, okay, we're just getting it all out. So Oda's been moving the story a little bit faster. So maybe it is the final arc versus the final saga. Who cares? If you come to me being like, well, technically Water 7 and Enies Lobby is part of the Water 7 saga, I don't care. I do not care.
Yeah. I'm with you. But with that, I believe we've said all we've wanted to say about chapters 366 to 370 of One Piece. Thank you so much for listening, and you can find more of my ramblings and stream VODs over at BitNerd Games on YouTube or BitNerd with an underscore at the end on Twitter. And Brandon, where can everyone find you at?
I'm at Brandon Bovia on Twitter, talking about anime, manga, games, and my job. Not a whole lot to really plug. Just I will say again, I'm trying my best not to talk about One Piece spoilers in general. And if you've been on social media for the past couple weeks, you'll know that's very hard.
There is no way for me not. Like, fortunately, I've already known about it. What was shown, but so it's not like that. It's not like that's a spoiler. And I've tried to keep it just to the visual. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing related to how it is.
Yeah. So it just.
But it's impossible to stay away.
I think people, they just assume like, oh, the manga's had this for a year, so we can just talk about it. Or like, oh, the anime got to this, so now we can finally talk about it. And of course, like, as far as like the One Piece marketing machine is concerned, they're like, yeah, the anime got to it, so it's like,
get it out there.
Open season, basically. They're like, all right, time for all the merch, time for all of the posters and the artwork and stuff like that. Or I'm here like, there's still people like watching and reading One Piece for the first time. So,
yeah, and unfortunately, it's just the way it is, because there is that sort of time limit, because you got to market it for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's tricky, and so I try my best to be mindful of those things.
yeah, I do my best as well, but like there's certain statutes of limitations that do happen. So
yeah.
And we're a special case. If we had been reading this, like doing a reread, and me actually being serious about getting through it, I'd be caught up by now. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's just because
that is also true.
Podcast.
Yeah, so. It's more fun this way.
Yeah, exactly. Get those more details and all that.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you'd like to help us out more, you can support the podcast over at patreon.com/Derek Bittner to listen to the next episode ad-free 3 days early. And make sure to return next time as we discuss the finale of the Water 7 arc, kinda.
Yeah, baby!
Chapters 371 to 375 of One Piece. So until then, my friends, bye.
Remember to take life one piece at a time.
Hide behind this mask and marking. La la.